guys, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here, and we're pretty much on time for Princesses of Skysea. We were behind the scenes talking about the various forms of cheesecake and butter. Bet you're jealous now. If you guys want to support the show and hear more about cheesecake and butter, you can go to patreon.com/unmadegaming and support us there. If you want to join the conversation about said butter and cheesecake, our Discord is always available and happening for all those kind of things. And my last shilling of you fine people out there is, if you check in that bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you will see the Twist of Fate bar. That bar stands for two purposes. One, if it fills, Keith gets to do whatever the hell he wants, which is terrifying because he threw a cake monster at us. But most importantly, all of the money that goes to that bar goes to these wonderful, amazing, beautiful, lovely players that you see here before you. That being said, I'm done selling you on how awesome we are, and I'll turn things over to Keith to recap last week's episode where we had our cake and ate it too.
Yes. There was a giant cake last week. I don't really understand why that happened, but
yes, you do. You're a liar.
It was my birthday. So Skysea. We are doing this nonsense She-Ra, Steven Universe, Star versus the Forces of Evil, and I guess also Voltron. That happened, so it should be tagged onto the list. But yeah, utilizing the rules from Fate Accelerated from Evil Hat and Masters of Umdaar, which is a Fate world published by Evil Hat that is He-Man straight out of the book. So where we left off last week, previously on Skysea, Princesses of. So we were outside of a crazy temple, right? In the midst of the Hyperwoods, tracking down Princess Poppy's mother, Queen Zinnia, who was accused of killing the high priest of the Celestial Protectorate, the weird aquatic region in the Skysea. While tracking her down, we found adjacent to the plot a large temple that seemed to be kind of a merging of all of our players at once, with different hands holding a bow and gauntlets and magic spells and whatnot. Seemed to be a strange amalgamation of everyone. So approaching the temple, which was also referenced in Princess. It's been a lot. This is like episode 5, so there's things have happened. The princess from the Badger Queendom had written some bad poetry about it, and it had been subsequently erased from her memory by memory vampires. So it was of particular interest. So the crew of princesses and company,
Dahlia,
Princess Dahlia. I'm bad with names.
I actually wrote notes for this.
Yay! So they fought back an evil giant cake that was guarding the temple for reasons unbeknownst to anyone. And it's a denizen of the Hyperwoods. It just really wanted to steal your guys' dreams and eat you, mostly. But we entered the temple and found that it was of some kind of future tech, and maybe even a ship from some other planet. But it was only partially powered up, and we were greeted with some kind of flickering holographic images of things going on, and found a ring of thrones facing inward that all had kind of slots at the head where the crown of respective queendoms would be placed. And we suspect that might power this up.
A musical chair of thrones, not to be a copyright infringement.
No relation.
Right.
And while studying a galactic map of sorts, a 3D like holographic galactic map that was in the temple, we found evidence that the Hyperwoods have been spreading throughout an entire galaxy and devouring planets left and right, and that our own planet, Umdaar, and the Skysea above it are in danger. We also learned we don't know what we learned, but we were referred to in the collective form as the Shattered Goddess, which we're a little bit confounded by.
And I don't even, between Vesper and Natalie, we didn't understand anything either. So this is great right now.
The recap might show a little bit more behind the curtain than...
It's fine. We need it.
And in a final climactic flashback moment, when Wesley used memory powers to a vision of the past. I have to clarify because it did kind of maybe seem like the future, but it was a vision of figures much like yourselves escaping the attack of some laser wolves, and in the midst of the chaos performed a elaborate fusion dance and joined hands, and then came together in a single form that looked very similar to that of the temple. So that was where we left off, but that was a vision seen only by Wesley.
Guys, if you were wondering what this show is, it's just an amalgam of Keith's childhood smashed into one show.
All true.
It's He-Man meets She-Ra meets Voltron meets Dragon Ball Z.
We're just learning a lot about Keith over the whole course of this.
He has an addiction to cartoons.
His interests, his style of cake, his, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, we're learning a lot.
I also looked to my left here, where our donation list is, and saw that last time on this show, the last donation was, "Lick that rock," which is exactly how Wesley got the memories of the throne.
I was going to say, what did you lick again? I couldn't remember.
I licked the throne. But I looked over to so I could see these come in, and Lick That Rock is the last one on there for this show. So
I'm so glad.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 would lick again?
Would lick again. I get sweet memories about Voltron. Or not Noltron. Definitely not legally binding Netflix properties. So we're still in the temple throne room, spaceship cockpit. Any one of those things, I believe.
All the above.
All of the above.
Great. So after Wesley enjoys a fine, delicious treat of throne, he is going to look back at everyone, and he's I think we are time travelers.
What?
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a time traveler.
Are you sure?
I'm sure that I do not remember being a time traveler.
What if it's time travel that you don't remember doing?
Yeah, see, that tracks for me, so I wouldn't remember if I did time travel, I'm pretty sure anyways.
What I'm saying is I licked the throne.
Yeah.
As you do. And
specifically you do, because you've told us not to put anything here in our mouths except for
in your mouth. No.
going against this rule, so.
Sometimes the cake. Anyway, I licked it and I saw all of us, but in the past or future? I don't really know which one. And there were laser wolves, and there was a battle, and it was real bad. And we all had crowns, and even me. And then we all sat in our thrones, and we put the crowns on the tippy top thing, and then we formed a giant creature made of stone, and we piloted it from the inside, like an elaborate carriage.
Are you sure you're not just high?
He's got a good point.
I don't think so.
Okay, so you don't know if it was the past or the future, right?
Right.
Okay, you said you saw all of us?
Yes.
Okay, did I have all these tattoos? And she'll start pointing to different tattoos on her body? Or did I have more or less?
Didn't really inspect you.
Damn. Okay, well,
Sorry.
There goes my plan.
It was definitely you, and you had a crown.
That's exciting.
It was fancy. And Poppy, you had a crown, and Honey had a crown, and I had a crown. I know. I don't know who I stole it from, but they're going to be mad.
Good on you.
I know.
I'm so excited for you. You should go find that crown again.
I really want to. But this is a ship.
The temple is a ship?
I guess so. We did like a dance, and we all became one giant creature.
Do you remember the dance? Should we do the dance?
Yeah, it was kind of like this, and then we all went this way, and then we all turned together, and we all touched our hands together at the same time.
But there's 4 of us. That's a really
yeah, we
cool
had to stand like sideways and like angle it just right.
I'm gonna go with that's future-esque. That doesn't sound like anything I'd ever be coordinated enough to do right now or in the past.
Oh. Yeah. That's true. Okay. So who do we get crowns from?
I mean, if we keep chasing Poppy's mom, we get that one.
Could you just use my mom instead of me?
I don't think so.
What do you have something? Do you have a problem with wearing a crown? You look really cute with one on.
I just am not interested in the responsibility of running a kingdom.
But what if the responsibility comes with a giant ship?
What if there is no responsibility in just a giant ship?
Yeah. Also, I think the alternative was that, like, there was a war and everyone dies. So,
I mean, I don't want that alternative, so
yeah. It was pretty bad.
I'll get the crown, give it back.
Get the crown, just don't put it on until we get back here.
Okay. That makes sense.
So we gotta go after your mom. We gotta go home for me, I guess, because mom would have the crown, presumably. I think she last was wearing it. I don't remember what she wears these days. It's not very fancy, so it's not as much fun. Let's grandma.
And what about Wesley's crown? We don't even know where to start with that.
We don't know where to steal that one. So maybe we leave that one till later.
And Honey's kind of proved herself, so hers should come fairly easily, right?
I'm gonna hope so. Because, like, especially with her younger sister, kind of, lately, I'm gonna go with it's definitely not going to her. So that should be easy. So, like,
maybe we start with mine since
your mom's like killing people?
Probably. That might be.
I feel like that's a sensitive topic, and I feel like we should wait until proven guilty. So let's go find your mom, figure out what the heck's going on, so people stop being after her for maybe or maybe not killing somebody.
Right. And if she did kill somebody, we should probably do something about that too.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that one out. That's gonna be complicated.
Yeah.
But we can get the crown while we're at it.
Oh, just so we're clear, does your mom have any superpowers or weaknesses? Is she allergic to cake monsters? Or
cake in general?
Thrones?
Keith.
Oh no, Keith is a robot.
Oh, he's a bubble monster.
You are a giant robot.
Keith has become Voltron. Oh dear.
Guys, Keith decided to use virtual cables, and that's bad. They're terrible for you.
Is that the lesson we're learning today?
He has had nothing more problems with them. They are atrocious. I love you, Keith, however.
I'm not even using them.
No, you sound much better now.
So wait.
I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't change anything.
Great.
I'm sorry, guys. Okay. What was the question to me?
Does my mom have any superpowers?
Your mother is a renowned...
Now you're muted.
Bye.
No sound came out of you.
Great.
I heard your mother is a renowned...
We're playing
Hula dancer.
Ad-libs now.
She's a renowned hula dancer. She has
Okay.
excellent acrobatics.
Right.
Love it.
Mhm.
Do her hips lie?
They do.
Oh my
They
god.
do.
Well then, good to know.
Oh no.
We also have that warning.
Not lying
Guys, hear me?
hips.
Anything but that.
That's Wesley's weakness, is lying hips.
What?
I don't know what that means. It's his
Can you guys hear
kryptonite.
me?
We can. You're just a little bit quiet.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
How about that? Is that better? Can you guys hear me?
Slightly better.
I'm hearing you.
Okay. I'm very sorry. I'm not really sure what's going on over here.
Actually, your microphone is back to completely normal. You're no longer the Barry White version of Keith. And because before you were very, very like deep, aggressively
I don't-
masculine.
I don't know what is the deal. I think Zoom is adjusting its volume has part of it to do with it. I turned that off.
Yeah. turn
In
it off.
any case, yes, Poppy, your mother, Queen Zinnia, is an expert in divination.
And
So
hula.
she's kind of a prophetess of sorts, and has a grand vision of the future, but doesn't tend to share it overly much. And she has some skill with like glamour that you like picked up from her as a child, but then you took on your own and advanced it further than her skill.
Would she know we were coming?
Possibly.
Can all of her
So-
magic be done through ritual dance to make what Kai said also true?
Yes.
That's how she does her magic. She just hulas.
My mom, through ritual dancing, can tell the future, and she can do some, glamour things, pull the wool over your eyes, sort of thing.
I don't know what that means. Like glamour, like Vesper is, like a glamazon.
No, not quite as sparkly. More deceptive.
Oh,
Oh
not like Vesper.
no.
No, and she might know we're coming when we come after her.
Well, that's not great.
Okay, but maybe that'll help. Because then she won't be surprised. And then maybe she'll be nicer about everything. I don't know.
I'm sure if we tell her we're looking for the crown, she's not going to be happy.
Is she particularly attached to it?
Yeah, she likes running the kingdom.
Is she literally attached to it?
No.
Like,
Oh.
okay, that's good. Because that would have been a whole other problem.
Hey, yeah, that would have been gross.
Yeah, it would have been. Well,
And then you would have had to wear it, and then that's pretty gross. Like bits on it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're that is not the rating of this TV show. So let's continue.
We're getting really close to PG-13. Better watch out. Okay, so I think before we got attacked by the cake monster, and before we found this very sad, weird temple, I think we were going out and then to the left.
We were following you. I have no idea anymore.
Oh, great. Well, then we can just keep doing that.
Cool.
And he marches with purpose out of the temple.
Vesper, watching him for like a split second, imitates how he's marching out of the temple.
I'll roll my eyes and follow along.
But low-key marching.
Yeah.
Not at all marching. I'm not marching.
Come on!
There's no marching from Poppy whatsoever.
Damn it, Kai. Yeah, so Wesley, he marches out, and then he stops like outside of the temple, and then looks around to get whatever bearings he might have, and then looks to the right, and then goes that way. I think it's this way.
Okay.
And again, he marches with purpose through the Hyperwoods.
How do you know?
Undead stuff?
Did you like something again?
No, I just really think it's this way.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't get lost here because of magic.
Why does everybody get magic but me?
No, I only get it here, and it's only about not getting lost.
Yeah, I'd still take that.
Okay, well, I mean, you can technically get that. It just...
Yeah?
Yeah, well, you know what happened to your sister.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mm,
not always worth it.
no. Plus, I might get stuck with like a really annoying talking bow like you did, so maybe that's not so great.
Well, mine was given me by your mom, so...
I know, my mom's got a weird sense of humor.
Oh, I hope it wasn't a sense of humor. I hope it wasn't a joke at all. That would be unfortunate. And now he sadly continues marching to the right as he wonders if his life has been an elaborate prank by the queen of the Amazon kingdom.
Go with my mom's might be a jerk, so it wouldn't actually surprise me.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. She is a jerk. But this is me now.
Oh. I mean, she did enslave you, so I mean...
Well, you know... You win some, you lose some, I guess, right?
Yes, we'll go with that.
Keith, I see you sliding
I know, that's all I
aspects
see right
around. I'm not a fan of the one that says hive-infested Gothic cathedral spaceship.
I don't like busing patrol.
I don't like that. Also, I realized that somebody commented on one of these YouTube videos. By the way, guys are on YouTube. Go leave comments. That apparently we flip-flopped back and forth when Mantor Malifaux was either a mantis or like a praying mantis or the undersea creature a manta ray, and we flip-flopped back and forth. So now I believe that Mantor Malifaux is a shape changer. From the Shape Changer Kingdom.
Oh, good.
Keith, you are muted of some kind. One day, things will work for you, my dude.
That day is not
It
today.
is not, unfortunately, today. You've broken everything.
How about now?
Perfect.
I guess I need to just turn it off and on again repeatedly for the rest of the session.
For the rest of forever. Great.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, and also some wonderful YouTube comments about the rules that we've been doing wrong, which has been great.
Yeah.
Good. It's been good to know.
And you got muted again.
Ah!
You're back.
You were back for the scream.
You were like, it's been great. Roar!
Oh no, I'm so sorry, you guys.
You
This
too.
is
Have fun
perfect.
with this one later.
This is perfect. It's like that one episode of SpongeBob where the writer comes down and they like keep taking his pencil away. The Doodlebob episode. Except it's Keith.
Well, assuming that my mic is working, I'm lit up, so that's a good sign. You guys follow the trail of Queen Zinnia, and time passes in Hyperwoods, which is hard to track because it's a strange digital landscape of haunted woodsiness. And at an indeterminate time, you find looming on the horizon a large structure that is indeed a hive-infested Gothic cathedral spaceship.
I don't like
This
any
was
of the words you're saying.
this was an Easter egg for the people who witnessed the one-off on your charity stream. But so this is a spaceship that's kind of looming in the Hyperwoods of a kind of Gothic architecture style. I'm thinking like Dark Eldar or something like that. But there's a giant like hive, like beehive, that has kind of grown out of the side of it. And buzzing around it are some Hyperwoods denizen creatures, similar. We've encountered some rift weavers before, which were like weird, kind of robotic spider creatures, and these are like wasps, and they have these long stingers that look like very pixelated and kind of freaky digitalized, and they're moving in coordinated patrols around this huge ship. And then kind of at the base of the ship, we have a portal leading back into the realm of Skysea. And it seems to be leading into a kind of a gloomy space beyond, because this is like, a window that we can see into. We can see through. So there's a kind of a gloomy space beyond that. At this distance, it's hard to tell what it is.
Okay. Have I ever seen this before? This gothic space castle?
That's a good question. Am I muted again? No, I'm good. Okay. I'm paranoid now. This is great.
Is the stream down? I think the stream might be down.
It is, but we're still recording, so it'll come back up.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Hey, no mind, YouTubers. Give me a clever check to see to peer into the memories of your past lives.
I'm great at that.
All of us?
Why did that not roll? There we go. Clever. 4.
A 4.
I am great at that.
Great. That's a great result. Yeah, this you have an overwhelming sense that this is bad.
Guys,
I guess maybe you could have assumed that, but
guys,
go ahead.
I have an overwhelming sense that this is bad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen a time where anything like that is good.
Yeah. Maybe it's like the space bees or this giant castle that's floating here, but everything points to not good times.
Huh.
Yeah.
Fun.
I don't know that it is.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that our only way back?
Back is a strong term. It's our only way out of the Hyperwoods. I mean, or we could go back the other way. See, the thing about portals is they're not really a fixed location. So they kind of pop up and move around, and if we traveled, if we went in to the one place near the Badger Kingdom, and we traveled, to the west, for a mile, and then we jumped in a new portal, that doesn't mean that we're a mile west of the Badger Kingdom anymore. We could be anywhere.
Okay, first question.
Yes.
Can you put that in kilometers? We use kilometers where I come from.
Oh, right. I always forget that. So it's like 2.5 kilometers. That's
2.5 Umdaar meters.
U
meters.
You meters.
So as you guys are kind of standing with this ship on the horizon, it begins to flash and power up a whole bunch of lights, and whirring of future magic-mechanical machinery is happening. And as this sight before you unfolds, Wesley, you get the feeling of dread starts to clarify in your memory. All the trees, all the digital trees around you start to kind of depixelize, and coalesce into a huge line almost. You would guess if you viewed this from very far away, it would be a ring, but it's connecting from a pillar atop this ship and cutting through the sky. So all the trees have been sucked up and made this road in the sky that seems to be gently curving. And Wesley, with your great result, this sinks into place that if a point at the center of this circle is connected into the material realm, everything inside this circle will get sucked into the Hyperwoods.
Hey, you guys remember that time that I said I really felt bad about this whole situation?
That was like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure that you remembered. You know how straws
Not great,
work?
but it's not that bad.
Well, you guys know how straws work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Imagine that the circle around us that just came out of nowhere and sucked up all the trees is the straw, and the castle is a giant evil space mouth. And it's gonna suck up all the things in the bottom of the portal, which is where we live. Which I don't know what's in that portal until I get over there, but probably bad. And then all those things, boop, they just pop up here in the Hyperwoods.
Well, what's probably on the other side is good, but we don't want what's good to be in here because here is bad.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could jump through the portal and then run really fast, and then it would not be our problem. But it would be a lot of other people's problems. Or you could make a new door in that spaceship.
You know how much I like to make doors. Haven't made a door in the last, 20 minutes, so...
That's true. You just made one in the side of that temple for no reason.
I know!
Already had a door.
I haven't made one since then. I am door deficient.
Poppy, do you know if your mom's inside that castle?
Do I know if my mom's inside the castle?
This was the trail that you were following of hers. You were doing your Aragorn, except in the Hyperwoods, and the trail led to here.
Yep, it seems like my mom might be in there.
Either in there or in the portal beyond. It's hard to tell.
Either in there or in the portal beyond. It's hard to tell.
Well, I mean, if we wait, the portal, all the things that are in the portal are going to be here anyway, so...
I don't think we want to go that route. We don't know what else is there. It could be home. If it's my mom, she's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, she be real mad.
Oh man, we don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. But then, maybe your whole family will be vampires too.
That's true.
Then you'll be the odd one out. Well,
Yeah.
more so.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's maybe just go stop this. I think that's an easier idea.
Okay, how's everybody with space bees?
I don't like normal bees, so I feel like I'm not gonna like these ones
They're
either.
so much worse.
How much experience do you have with space bees?
0. I run away from them every time.
Oh.
Do you see the size of those space bees? And the size of me? That's terrifying.
Okay, but there's a lot of things that are like the size of you, though, honey. It's
And I
fine.
don't fight them.
I know you
I
don't.
run
It's
and
fine.
shoot them from far away sometimes.
I'm so proud of you when you hit.
Thank you. Poppy, are you allergic to space bees?
I'm not allergic to space bees.
Are you allergic to normal bees?
I am not allergic to normal bees.
Okay.
Okay, that's also good. Just in
Great.
case, because sometimes maybe there's a normal bee stuff in there somewhere. So I'm just avoiding all
I've
allergies.
heard that space bees actually shoot out normal bees out of their stings.
Oh god, that's horrifying.
They're armed with bee cannons.
Are
All
you
right, so-
this up, Wesley?
I can't even keep a straight face. No, I swear I've heard that before.
I love that I don't have to explain like half of anything. You guys just go with it.
Just make it up either way.
It's like, okay, I'm cool with that.
Now the space bees have bee cannons. They're done. That's ridiculous. Put it on the show.
They could be B-grade cannons, and they're just really bad cannons.
Yeah.
They're not like the A-grade one.
Like imagine that you have like a shoulder, but a swarm of bees shoots out of it. It's terrible.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Is this thing floating off the ground, Keith?
Or is it?
It is. No, it's parked.
Oh, thank God.
The castle is parked. Okay, cool.
It's not a castle. It's a spaceship.
Uh,
Yeah, but it's a Gothic cathedral spaceship, so it's a castle that flies.
it's
That's what it is in my head.
It's Howl's Moving Castle. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, if you were picturing something different, Keith, you're wrong. It's a space castle that flies.
But it's right now parked. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the moat has been deployed and everything. So
I'm so glad.
The moat turns into like a water slide.
It's like a laser just comes out of the ship's like boom and drills a moat wherever it lands.
You go somewhere else in the Hyperwoods later, you just see a random moat.
It's just moats.
I've been here.
Dozens of moats.
It's
they're
like
just filled with pond water.
And space bees. Okay, yeah, I guess Wesley looks over to Vesper and says, "Okay, well, I guess we need a door."
Cool. Okay. Vesper wants to go make a door.
All right, so this is going to be a challenge, which is in Fate mechanics is a series of overcome obstacles that we kind of narrate.
Yeah.
So the first of these challenges is this buzzing patrol.
Okay.
It's kind of a series of like groups of these bees they're wasps. They're not bees, okay? They're wasps. It's important for some reason.
Save the
I
bees.
wanted really cute bumblebees with like their big butts and everything. Would have been great. Would have been so much cuter.
I mean, wasps are just scarier, and they make those big, gross. I guess bees make hives too. This is great. So you're gonna have to get past these patrols, which is gonna be a roll, a +3. It's gonna be a good challenge to evade them and get basically to the hull of the ship without being noticed.
Cool. Am I just able to punch my way through?
Once you get there, but you have to get past the patrol first.
Okay, so what do I get to roll then?
Well, basically, you can kind of decide who you guys want to roll, if it's desirable for someone else to roll it. But however you see it, approach-wise, getting past the patrols is our first one.
It's gonna be really weird, but I actually have an idea, and it may not be the worst thing ever. Poppy, can you make a distraction? Can you distract the bees?
I can do that, but that makes me a little scared.
Aren't we all just a little scared constantly?
If they come after me and I hide behind you,
I'll protect you.
fine then.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I got you.
Is Wesley helping me or you?
I feel like he's probably also helping you in shooting down the bees, because that'll help, especially if they start coming this way. Then he can shoot them down, and then there'll be less of them for me to go around, and then I go bam, bam, make a door.
Sounds like a plan.
And then I guess you have to go inside, and then I guess that's how we stop the trees. I realized I don't know how we stop the trees.
Me neither.
I'm gonna hope we can do it from inside the castle.
Oh, I'd hope so.
Also, are the bees too big to get through the door you're making?
I hope so. How big are these bees? Like, do we have an actual size versus Vesper?
Yeah, they're about as big as you guys. They're pretty big.
Okay, so if I go like small, I make a Wesley-sized door.
Yeah.
I can't get in. That'll work, right?
Who knows?
Yeah. I
We'll
think
see.
so.
Only the dice may tell.
Okay.
All right. So, Poppy, you're going to make a distraction.
Yes, and I'm going to use my illusion skills, and I'm going to create... Can I create an illusion of like a bear in the bushes or something?
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
A hyper bear.
Which everyone knows is the arch enemy of space wasps, because or space bees, because the hyper bears come for that space honey, and that's you
Obviously,
can't have
this
that.
makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, this trash.
I'm glad you were right along with that thought train.
Yeah.
All right. Well, give me a roll. Whatever approach you feel like makes the most sense for your illusion magics.
Okay, I'm going to roll can I roll sneaky? Because I'm trying to be sneaky.
Yeah.
Cool. And that was not great. So can I use a fate token to re-roll?
You can. Yeah, you can use a fate token. You have to invoke a particular aspect. So maybe one of the aspects of your character would make the most sense.
Can I take one off the board?
If you can narratively justify it helping you.
The buzzing patrol of the bees. I'm trying to distract the buzzing patrol. It's so descriptive.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm failing to see how that helps you, though, because it's like what you have to, the aspect has to narratively justify like why you would be better at that particular thing. And that's just like who you're trying to distract. So like if you were to invoke like your illusionist trained in the circus or something like that, one of those aspects, and you're like, because I was trained in the circus, this illusion is going to be more effective or something.
One of my aspects is just illusionist princess. Could I use like, I grew up, my mom was good at like deceiving. I grew up, learning her ways. I'm deceiving these bees.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. That's what I'm going to use.
Okay. So yeah, you pay a fate token, and you can either re-roll. Okay, go ahead. You got it.
Sorry, I just kind of went for it.
No, you're great.
Okay.
Okay, so you tied it because it is a 3. So you can succeed at a minor cost.
Wesley is my minor cost.
Rude.
Yeah, I think it could either be stress from like your urgency in the situation. So you conjure this illusion, and as it's coming together, they start flying like right over your head. So you have to like dive out of the way and get scratched up a little bit in the process, or just the sheer stress of the intensity of the moment that you're not sure it's going to come together in time, and you're like running backwards towards the ship as everybody else is a little bit ahead of you, and you suffer some stress. So check the 1 box on your stress.
Okay.
And so you guys all sprint as these bees have been distracted by this conjured illusion of a bear. All the bees like swarm, or bees. Now you got me saying bees. They're hornets. It's so important. And so they all swarm towards this bear. I guess the bee bear logic makes more sense. So who knows? They're both.
Yeah,
They're hybrids.
Yes, space wasps can make honey.
Yes. All right, and so you guys have your back up against the hull of the weird hive-infested Gothic cathedral spaceship.
Cool.
And it hums a loud and decidedly nerve-wracking hum of machinery, mechanical machinery running.
Okay. Can I make a door?
Yes.
That's all I want to do. All I want to do is make a door. Sweet.
How does your door thing work again? Let me.
Oh, I just made it an aspect, which just makes walls out of everything.
Oh, okay. I see. So yeah, you're super strong, right? Once per scene, when you attempt to forcefully overcome a physical obstacle, which is this, you can outcome surge it if you're trying to break through it, which means go ahead and roll with forceful, and then basically it'll kick it up to the next tier of success.
I rolled the 4.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that.
All good.
So a 4 beats it. And because it's outcome, if you want to use because this is a once per scene, do you anticipate making any other doors? Do you want to succeed with style, or hold on to it?
I mean,
that sums up Natalie's entire character. Do you anticipate making any other doors?
I mean, I
Because-
always anticipate making more doors, but I also have an aspect that lets me make more, that helps me with doors. So let's do this, because this is the big door this time.
It's a big door. I thought it was going to be a small
No, it's
door.
a small door. It's a small door. It's a smaller than the beast, but big enough for a Vesper door.
It's just a very important door.
Okay, so you're gonna outcome surge it.
Yeah.
You're gonna like kick it up.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So you succeed
my
with
style.
style.
Does my style mean I actually make like a door with it?
With the handle and everything. Yeah, I think you basically like grab hold of you find the seams of a panel of this ship and pry it open, and everybody like runs in, and then you like maneuver in a way that you pry it closed after you.
It's like every cartoon ever. And you just tear the side of the wall open and then close it back up.
I love it. I feel like Vesper keeps succeeding with style, and she just thinks she's looking real cool while she does everything.
And
It's just Wesley behind you going, throwing glitter in the air. Like he just has, that's what he has. He has the bow and glitter.
You've got an entire pouch of glitter that my mom gave to you, being like, just do it for her, please.
And a fan. He's so the hair.
Yeah. You're my bodyguard, my special effects guy.
Yeah.
All right, and you guys have a boost of unseen shadows because you have yet to even be noticed so far. So you could invoke that for a +2.
Amazing.
Because you have so far totally eluded spotting. So you're inside this ship, and it is it has the feeling of like a crazy kind of server room that at all this machinery is running, all these kind of computers. But in various places, there are these like bulbous hive structures, and scuttling out from them are all kinds of like worker drone, little robotic worker drone bugs. They seem pretty oblivious to you guys, but they're everywhere. I have new aspects. Let me pump them in here.
Oh, no.
I have an idea.
Oh no.
Ideas after the door, so.
I was
should
knowing Keith to be.
ride one of these bees or one of these wasps or whatnot.
I take it back. I was knowing.
Mother wasp.
Oh no.
Wait, sorry, we're gonna go wasp riding? That's weird.
I mean, don't they all eventually, mother wasp, mother bee, mother bug, queen ant?
I don't know.
I'm very knowledgeable in insects.
Vesper believes you 100%, okay?
How do we ride a space bee though?
Very carefully.
Do they have a saddle?
That is a question I never expected to ask myself ever.
You're welcome.
Like a wild horse, you tame it.
Ali. Okay, I gotta go. Show is off the rails. I have to leave.
And that's how Princesses of Skysea got canceled.
Oh, Jesus.
That was it. It was that accent that jumped the shark. Nothing that Keith did, but it was the accent.
Yeah, Kai's accent.
Nothing that Keith did.
Breaking the bee like a wild horse. Yeah, I want to see this. So, could you demonstrate how to break a bee like a wild horse, Kai?
I definitely thought you were going first.
No, this is for sure your idea.
Yep.
This is all you, girl.
This is you.
Can I make
A bee hand.
a rope lasso?
Yes.
Oh, are we actually doing this?
Yeah.
You're
That's up to
actually
you.
doing this.
You're the player.
I'm just gonna make a door out of the bee if it all goes to hell.
You're for sure trying.
Do you guys have a different idea?
No.
Nope.
Not now that you said your idea.
Especially now that you said your idea.
All right, I'm gonna make a rope lasso and try to rope one of these insects.
I love this.
All right. What kind of approach are you using?
A Western approach.
The Western approach. To be clear.
The one and only.
Let's see. I would be clever. This is a clever thing to do. Nope.
Is it?
Nope. Okay, so I'm trained in the circus, and I saw them rope elephants and tigers. So
Yes.
I'm going to re-roll that.
I bought that.
Perfect.
Keep in
Camels.
mind, you don't have to re-roll. You can add a +2 if you feel like. Statistically, it's best to re-roll if you get like 3 minuses.
Okay, so I'll just do a +2 to that one then.
And you can, if you want to, invoke your boost that you are unseen shadows. I could buy that narratively they didn't even see the rope lasso coming because they haven't even noticed. Yeah.
Perfect.
And that would give you another +2, so you'd be at a 4. And I think you are at 3 fate tokens, right? You've used 2.
Yeah. Yep, I'm at 3.
All right.
You're the one going through them this time.
I know.
Yeah, right. All right, describe it to me. How does this go down?
So are these wasps in here, or what kind of insects? Is there all different kind of insects?
Yeah, they're wasps, but they're like worker drones, so they don't have any wings, and they're kind of just like moving around machinery and like chunks of hives and stuff. They all look very busy, but totally oblivious.
So they're dangerous ants.
Yeah, dangerous ants.
We have turned this into Ant-Man and the Wasp.
So
That's what this has become.
Damn it, Keith. The whole time. I didn't even know.
I lassoed a ant bee, wasp, right around the mouth, so it has like this bit and reins, and
I'm so glad the accent is coming back.
and I jump on the back of it. And yeehaw! And like one hand up, bull ride style, tame this wasp bee into submission.
Put one hand and in your other hand you take off your hat and you just like
Yeah, my top hat. Yeah, exactly. That's what's happening.
Yes, and it's big enough that other people could ride if they wanted to, or just like hang out near it as it plows through everything.
I'm gonna say, jump on, pretty lady.
yeah. And I do.
What is happening right now?
Is this a character that you played in the circus?
Yeah.
Esper is so excited and so impressed right now.
All right, this thing rears up in all of its strange mechanical chitinous form. All the pieces of the shell are clicking off of each other, and it is like without a sound that you guys necessarily hear, communicates. Like you get the impression that it has shouted, because all of a sudden all the other scuttling worker drones in the way have kind of parted and have like scuttled up the side of the wall and kind of moved out of the way, and this one just like rides down the center of this cleared path, and you guys move through this little obstacle without incident.
Ride like a bullet. Hey, just kidding.
Wesley's not on. He's sort of following behind.
He's just walking behind you because he only grabbed one of us. I assume for Wesley and Honey, who is still invisibly here with us, that we need a second ant creature. Is that correct? If we're going by Honey, I Shrunk the Kids logic, you could fit 3 kids on an ant. So, I mean, there's 4 of us.
And Vesper kind of counts for 2 kids. So, like,
Yeah. How do I get an ant? I don't have magical lassos.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was basically one person has to roll to overcome the obstacles. So
okay, cool. So you
followed closely behind, and the things have gotten. They all like scuttle back to place
I lost track.
behind
Can you please rephrase that?
Thank you, Siri.
That was clearly the space robot, the Shattered Goddess.
Welcome. So yeah, you plow through this parted sea of these worker drones, and then and Wesley is like, closely behind this one that you were riding, and as you pass through this hallway, then they close behind you, and you manage to wander for a time through this place, and then you arrive at a room that you could only guess is the core of the room of the ship. Because there is a huge pulsing, a Tesla coil like thing going on that you recognize was the antenna that was peeking out of the top of it that had created this gigantic ring. So you are there. It seems like this could be destructed or sabotaged or something. Yeah.
Oh, this is the pulsing core, right? That's what this situation is. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
That's where I think you might be up on this one.
Yeah, this looks like something I can punch.
It sure does.
Sure. How big is this again? Can I make a try? Asking for future aspect needs in case I need to invoke it.
Yes, this is going to be a superb challenge. So a 5, which you can prepare for. People can create advantages or whatnot, but it seems like at first touch it seems very sturdy.
Cool. It seems very sturdy. Does it?
It's made of future metals.
That means nothing to
As opposed to past metals.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Is there
It's
anything?
forged from unobtainium.
Oh, not unobtainium. That's
that.
only slightly more rare than obtainium. What else is in this room?
Yeah.
Good question.
Stumped him.
There's a lot of like different control panels. Some of them have been kind of like ripped open and are now host to like hives and worker drones kind of scuttling around. But they are much more sparse in this space than they were out in the outside.
Wait, so I have a question. The this area, does it look like it was just a ship that the drones and bees have taken over, or it's something that they've created to function for them?
No, they took it over.
This was somebody else's. These guys are thieves. We are doing a service to someone by destroying this.
Do these Keith? How sentient are these space wasps? Swasps.
The ones that you saw outside were definitely pretty sentient. The worker drones in here, you get the impression are like just doing orders and are pretty oblivious to everything else. Unless you guys, as soon as the one was lassoed, it had a visible reaction and looked like it was gonna get upset for a second, but then it was managed to be wrangled and and tamed.
They are,
and rode. But
they are
they
like
don't seem.
they're alive, right? They're not robots.
No, they're robots.
They are robots. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you meant drones as in like both the bee drone or also an actual like robotic drone. Okay.
Both, yeah.
Perfect. But the ones outside were also robots?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone's a robot.
There's a lot of robots, but they're thieving robots, so that's not good.
Okay, so there's a problem. And the problem is mostly for me in that I can't eat robots.
That is definitely a you problem. I was never anticipating to eat these guys.
Right, but Poppy's idea was really good. If you ride one of the drones, yes, it took us to the place that this seems like a very important thing because it's pulsing and glowing, and it's black and I assume green because that's how I'm picturing it in my head.
Okay.
And
I mean, it's right there, but sure.
yeah.
Imagine whatever you want in your head, honey.
Yeah, it's black and green. But what about the queen?
What about her?
Well, if these robot bees act like regular bees, then if you take out the queen of the bees, then all the rest of the bees run away.
True.
Yeah.
But I don't
And
know.
then
where
we
the
have a space castle.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right? See? That's so much cooler than punching things.
Just slightly. Okay, but where's the queen and can I punch her?
I don't know, and yes. But I can't eat bees to find out where the queen is.
Can you eat anything in here?
I'm finally getting the point of that story.
Which story?
That you can't eat bees.
Oh,
That was a long story.
yeah. I can't eat bees. They're robots. Duh.
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 Apples, chairs, fine. Mushrooms, but not bees
Rocks,
and robots.
Crowns.
Yeah, but not
What if
robots.
you ate your crown? Maybe that's what happened.
I would be sick.
Do the bees think that the, like, glowy thing is the mother?
Are you asking me or Keith?
Either whoever wants to respond to me.
I don't know.
Me neither.
You know what? I'm gonna bet no, because in any queendom that I've ever been to, which is quite a bit of them, there's always guards guarding the queen, and I assume that if you have a robot queen, there would still be robot guards.
Wait, we're also gonna have to fight guards now that you mention it.
Yeah,
Let's get to the queen.
yeah.
That's a lot of punching.
Wait, I have an idea. Space Bee, take us to your queen.
Take us to your leader.
And he just says that to the space drone.
Good.
I assume nothing happens at all. Keith, you are unfortunately muted for whatever important bit of dialogue you were saying. But I assume it is no.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. It was really good. So, but I won't repeat it.
Okay, perfect. I assume it was along the lines of, no, that's insane. The bee
That's
does not
stupid.
take you to the queen.
Yeah, the drone scuttles past you without notice.
Damn. It was worth a shot. I have no idea.
Actually, it did seem to notice you a little bit. Swiveled a bit of its eyeballs. That sound of them rotating inside their sockets. Servos running and whatnot.
Stop. What a rude drone.
Right?
I guess we could just wander around.
What if it's going to tell the mama bee about us?
I'm a little worried for that too. And then suddenly, if there's like hundreds of bees and drones on us, that's more punching than just punching this.
Well, then we just jump inside the moat.
Isn't that a ways away?
I mean, it's just outside, right?
Yeah, but then, I mean, I can make a door outside again. But if we do it on, like, I don't know which level we're on. I don't know if we've, like, gone up in the castle. If we have, we run the risk of me making a door, but there's no ground on the other side of that door, and then we're falling.
Right.
Yeah, I think you guys have gone upstairs at some point. Yeah. You hear a cacophonous scuttling sound down the hallway.
That sounds like a cacophonous amount of scuttling from down the hallway.
What do you think it means?
Lots of bees.
Okay, so I'm already thinking I should just punch this thing.
Okay.
Okay, punch. Vesper punch. Wait, so we already knew what I needed to do. I had hit superb on this, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. I'm just going to attempt this and then throw fate at it.
Perfect.
I'm just gonna use the system. Mother God. So I'm going to invoke Amazon Bodybuilder Barbie to start.
I
Obviously.
love that term so much.
Same. I put it up to a 4, which is still not enough. Can I then also utilize Because I can still use another one of my aspects and invoke it to get another 2, which would put me up to 6, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. What other aspect are you going to invoke?
Can I invoke the makes walls out of everything?
Yeah.
Makes doors out of everything, rather. Yes, there we go.
All right. You wind up and smash your gauntleted fist into this pillar, and a great blast of green electricity flies through the room, and cracks start to ripple through this whole thing, and you hear kind of the seizing of machinery and whirring, and the ship is starting to shift about.
But it's parked, so we're not falling out of the sky.
Yes, true.
Good.
True. But it does not. It is not totally broken. It seems to be still working, because it is going to take more than just one hit to take it down. And in the meanwhile, a swarm of these worker drones surge into the room, and start assailing you guys. These drones are like latching like in a swarm, just flying over your face and latching onto you and clawing at you. So this is a hold back the swarm while Vesper takes another shot.
I got this one. I'm gonna shoot them so many times with a bow and arrow. So I take out Nyar Stainlar, and I begin shooting my bow at all of these as I Legolas them as they income into this tunnel. I'm shooting and shooting and shooting.
Yes, sorry, I should have said they enter the tunnel first, right? So like they're not on top of you guys immediately. I got a little carried away, but yeah, as they're like the tunnel just goes utterly black for a moment as this dense swarm just flies out from the tunnel.
Cool. So I miss. But I'm going to spend a fate point and activate my aspect, Memory Vampire Man-at-Arms, because I don't miss when I shoot at things. That's ridiculous. And that makes it a 2 instead of a 0.
Okay, this is a great, because they're working as a gang, so it's a 4.
Well, who?
Which you could succeed at a major cost if you would like to still succeed without paying any fate tokens, and that would probably be stress as they crash into you.
Okay, I'm going to spend a fate point and activate one of the aspects on the board because of nonsense. I'm going to to use the aspect worker drones, oblivious but everywhere, and I pull my arrow and I knock it towards the incoming swarm, and at the last second I lean back and it looks like I missed. And there's like a moment where everyone's like, "Oh no!" And then Wesley just stands there as the arrow kind of sails and hits one of the worker drones that was above the door, and it falls onto the incoming swarm, and that makes it a +4, or a 4 total. And unfortunately, Keith, you're muted again. One day, Keith.
I don't know.
You are back.
I don't know. So that one crashes onto the ground in front of the hallway door, and they crash into it like a wave, and it sends them flying in different directions, and they're like working to coalesce again.
Like it.
And we can go back to Natalie for a second punch.
Another punch? Good. Oh God! Except for I am going to be running out of fate at this point. No, I got 3. Let's see how this goes. Or I just got to roll good. 4. And it's still, is it okay? But here's the thing: this pulsing server core is now damaged.
Yeah, you can invoke that.
Cool, I'm gonna invoke that. for +2, so that puts it up to a 6.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet, excellent. All right, with a dramatic wind up and punch, the cracks in this thing start to grow so rapidly that you see it's starting to shift, and pieces of it start crumbling down. Green electricity is sparking all over the place, and it seems like it's time to go. as this is crumbling down atop you guys. So Poppy, how are you helping everyone escape as Nyar and Wesley are holding back the horde?
Can we ride those bees out like off into the sunset?
Yes, you still have that one that you wrangled, so
You should name him.
I did. I named him. What did I name him? Something with a B. Bullet. I named him Bullet.
Oh, unbelievable.
Okay, bye guys. I'm gonna go be in chat and make up a lot of bee puns. I don't know why I have to
His
do
name is
this.
Bullet.
His name was Bullet.
Bullet.
Mighty Bullet. You saddle up on Mighty Bullet and
Right off into the sunset. Oh yeah.
And by sunset, could that please be a portal?
Yeah.
I'll be damned. God damn it.
You'll be damned.
Yep, that's what chat says. I'll be
all right, give me a
damned.
roll.
Yes, Corby.
Okay. I'm gonna do clever and 2.
A 2. Oh, actually, so this escape is going to be a contest, which is our best out of 3 thing. So we're simulating this as you guys like take off down an opposite corridor as this swarm is like right behind you guys. So it's like a chase, right? And if you lose in this chase, you have been overwhelmed by the swarm. And basically captured. But if you win, then you manage to escape through the portal. Those are the rules.
Those are the rules.
The rules.
Which option screws with your story more? Really?
Both.
This whole thing is screwing with his story.
Fair.
Somehow it just never comes together. So here we go. My wasp swarm.
Oh boy.
A 4.
Oh boy.
Don't like it.
This is stressful.
So you could invoke an aspect if you have one that narratively would make sense to help you in this situation, as the swarm of bees or swarm of bee wasps is trying to overtake you guys, and you're all like running down the hallway. It could also be one on the board, which we could change the pulsing server core to fracturing, collapsing server core.
Are we all fighting these downloader wasps, or is it just Kai? Just Poppy?
No, everybody.
Okay.
Can I use the collapsing server core one? And what I'm imagining is like parts of it are like falling down, and I'm guiding the horse wasp through the falling down pieces, and like, they're hitting the pieces that are falling or hitting the other bees.
Yeah, that sounds good. Pay a fate token for it.
Yeah. Down to 2.
Excellent. All right, and that puts you at a tie, which actually is a twist, rather than any one side getting a success. But you could, if you wanted to, spend another fate token if you really want to win. Otherwise, the twist is that the ship is collapsing and starting to fall apart from the intensity of this breakage. Like the ceiling starts to collapse, so you're having like debris and whatnot falling all around you guys. That would be the twist. The idea behind a twist is that it's not necessarily good for either side. It just complicates things.
I can now, this might be a stretch, but you can tell me, envious of Honey because of her ability to smoothly move into Queendom with confidence. And I saw her defeat those, it wasn't badgers when we met her. There was like bad guys.
Snake people.
Yeah, snake people. And, you know, I want to defeat bad guys. I want to be more like her. I'm using this as a way to kind of grow into being a queen.
Okay, I bought it.
Yeah.
All right. So pay a fate token, and then the ceiling is not collapsing. Rewind. And instead, our glorious beetle rider, or God, what are these things?
Wait,
not
they're beetles now?
Also beetles too.
Perfect.
YouTube comment that what are these things? They just keep saying there's something different.
Wasps, bees, hornets, beetles.
We see you YouTube comments, you know.
Yes, seen and loved.
And so our great wasp rider, our great drone rider has pushed us forth, and the swarm is being clogged by the collapsing server core, and they're being slowed down. So you guys arrive to a wall that you believe is the exterior facing toward the portal. This seems like perhaps in Vesper's wheelhouse.
Vesper punch?
Vesper punch!
Vesper punch!
All right, give me a forceful roll.
Oh, I'm so glad I put my force up.
Yes, everyone leveled up between sessions.
Yeah, we did. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, what did you get for?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you get
Yes.
for a level up? Because I forgot to do that.
I did too.
Meanwhile, there's me who jumped on that to make an aspect to make doors out of everything and to increase her force.
Right?
Excellent. So that is succeeding with style. So what boost do you guys think is created by this situation as you heave through the exterior wall of this thing, and you guys come leaping out of the ship? What kind of a boost are we like?
Besides the fact that there's glitter in my wake.
Yes.
I feel like she punches out a wall, right? And there happens to be a Hyperwood that's just close by that we can get onto, so that because we're on a higher level, right? So we don't have to jump down. There's just a tree nearby that we can just slide down.
Yeah, actually, because these things had all been pulled up into this ring, like apart. Yeah. You guys see that the whole ring hasn't been taken down, but so you get the impression that it's being formed by perhaps something else elsewhere, but it is sagging and kind of like breaking apart in the place where this ship is. So indeed, we do have some of these like Hyperwood trees that are starting to like move back into place, that are like trying to materialize, but in the process they're like these strange ethereal like sinuous branches and vines and whatnot that are kind of drifting down back towards the ground that you guys are like running across and swinging across and whatnot, because epic.
Yeah.
So that will be materializing trees, hyper trees.
Disney's Tarzan. You're just
Perfect.
surfing down the vines.
And that will be a boost for us that we can utilize. All right. We are... that was also a success. We've got 2 successes so far, right? On a 3-tick scale. So you guys are hurtling across these crazy materializing hyper trees towards towards the portal.
Uh-huh.
Closer up, now that we're like moving towards the portal, both Vesper and Wesley recognize the architecture within the portal as being decidedly Numerian, though it is the sewers beneath some Numerian city.
Perfect.
And that was why it was gloomy.
Real quick.
It's not running into mom quite yet.
Right.
Bad news, we're definitely going that way.
Real quick, what do you get when you level up? You get a stunt or an aspect, and then you get points for your approaches?
You can move one approach up by one.
Yeah, it was move an approach up by one, and then there's 4 other things.
What?
Yeah, the minor milestones. You could switch the ratings of any 2 approaches, or you get one of these things. Let me grab this picture.
Yeah, you can switch 2 of your approaches. You can change one of your aspects as long as it's not your high aspect or your trouble. You can add a stunt.
You get to choose 4 of them? Crap.
No, just one of the 4.
Oh, okay.
And that's for a minor. I did 2 milestones at the same time because I forgot to do a minor.
Cool. So I added a point. I added a point to one thing, and I added a new stunt. Okay, cool. I'm caught up. I'm back.
There you go.
I'm back, baby.
Cool.
So we need one more success.
Yes.
I am gonna do the shooty thing, and I'm going to shoot as we're sliding down, because we still have Bullet, right? As he's scurrying down these vines, I am riding backwards, firing at the hole of these drones piling out towards us, preventing them from getting to us. So I'm gonna roll some quick and quickly shoot my bow as fast as possible.
Yeah.
With a +2, and this is the same scene. And so I am going to actually, you know what? So, question for you, Keith, before I spend this point, which I'm going to anyway. Succeeding with style just means a 3+, right? So, like, if I use an aspect, that's a 4. Is that a 3+?
I have to roll for my thing because this is an active opposition.
I have to succeed against you. Oh, so I have to get 3 more than that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So I am going to do something, Keith. I am going to spend a fate point, and I'm going to use... Actually, the B is a boost that's temporary, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
you can use that.
Do I have to spend a fate point for that one?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going
Anytime there's a letter on a card, it's basically a free token instead of a fate point.
I'm going to freely invoke that B, and much like the other B from B4.
Yeah, there you go.
God damn it! I am going to shoot at the Hyperwood vines instead of the actual drones. Thus making, that one thing that everyone does in Railroad Tycoon, where there's no vine and then all the bees start to fall down because they're going so fast. They can't stop quick enough.
Yes, a bunch of lemmings just hurtling off the cliff.
They derail.
Derailed? Yes, but you are tied at a 4, right? You invoke that, it gets you up to a 4.
That does get me to a 4, so I need to do one more.
Yeah.
Man.
Do a thing.
I don't think I have any things left. I already used them in the scene. Right? You can't invoke an aspect more than once in one scene, right?
No, you can. You can't invoke it more than once in a single roll.
Oh. Cool.
Sorry.
Every roll I could be invoking Amazon Bodybuilder Barbie.
Yes, but you have to pay for it every time, right?
I got 5 and you got plenty to use against me. Come on, I'm doing fine here.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I haven't even been using mine.
For funsies, because I have a new stunt and I just want to use it, and we're almost towards the end of the episode. I'm gonna invoke 2 aspects because we get them back in like 30 minutes.
Exactly.
One is for Memory Vampire Man at Arms, because Wes doesn't miss. He's a perfect shot every time.
He's a good archer boy.
Yeah. And the other one is Memories Give Me Power, because we've been fighting these bees for a hot minute here, and I believe that I know their weakness. And so that becomes an 8 instead of a 4, or instead of it becomes an 8.
Yes, excellent. All right, so Wesley, shooting behind him as he's running, hits one of these branches and makes it dip, and all these beetles are tumbling off the edge of it as they were like just running across it behind you guys. And you guys are sprinting across these things and manage to land safely on the ground and sprint through the portal. And I think I'll say that the succeeding with style in this situation, I think you managed to recall something from your past lives of how to disrupt a portal. And so just as you guys plunge through the portal, you turn and fire an arrow in just the right spot that disrupts the portal, and so it becomes like kind of this weird flickering like web-like lattice that people are not going to be able to pass through, though they can still see, and it will like fix itself in time. But it is it's a
special arrow too. So like Wesley like jumps through and does that. Then when you jump through and you're like, oh, from behind, and it's he fires 2 arrows at once, and then they sort of split off, and there's like a tether between the 2 of them, and it just sticks in both corners of the portal, and then you just see it like a net.
And you just remember suddenly, oh, that's what these arrows are for.
That's what those were for, yeah. It's like that scene from, what the hell is it? Avengers? Not Avengers. Guardians of the Galaxy, where there's like the ships make the net around Earth, and the guy's like trying to plow through it, and it's like all bendy, but it's all like weird bees. Yes. Just like that. And so you guys have evaded such terrible fiends and are now in the you are assailed by the putrid stench of the sewers beneath New Maria, the capital of Numeria.
New Numeria.
New Numeria.
The New Numerian slums.
The sewers are rapidly moving, strangely colored, and elsewhere about the room that stands out to you guys are a strange pile of what looks to be cocoons.
Are cocoons native to the Numerian sewers?
No. And they look decidedly Hyperwoodsy.
That doesn't belong there.
Oh, man.
I haven't been gone that long.
Are there a lot of them, Keith?
There are about 10 of them, yeah.
Okay. Poppy, new question. Did your mom have an affinity for bees?
Not that I was aware of.
Okay, because part of me is like, all right, we ended up here. Your mom was kind of maybe headed this direction. I have no idea at this point. So maybe she has something to do with it. But also there's those things which I'm worried are more bees, which don't belong here, even though the jokes are great. And so I'm wondering if 2 and 2 actually get put together this time and make 4, and that is a lot of more bees than I want to deal with. Although there's 10, so I mean, I guess it's like 5 and 5. Anyways, the short story is I'm worried that your mom's involved and there's more bees.
Wait a minute. Who did your boyfriend kill, Poppy? No, I'm sorry. Who did your boyfriend say your mom killed?
The High Priest of the Celestial Protectorate, or the aquatic people.
What is that, Keith?
They are the if you remember back to the vision of Skysea, there was a strange river that kind of wove its way through the floating islands, and that's where the Celestial Protectorate lives. And they're the aquatic kind of denizens of the Skysea, and they're like very paladin-like, and believe that they're protectors of some ancient thing that you guys just don't. You don't really know a whole lot about them because they're weird.
They're called the what protectorate?
Celestial Protectorate.
Ooh. And Mantor Malifaux is part of that order?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Never mind. I retract my question previously.
Okay.
A clue as and not so much a clue, but just a clue as Wesley, you're kind of looking at these things. You have a flash of I'm just going with the amnesia thing. You have a flash of your past memory of this weird texture of this cocoon being very close to your face and clawing your way out of it.
Oh. And Wesley says that. Oh.
What's going on? What's happening in your brain?
They're like
Did you lick
vampire...
something?
No. They're like vampire butterflies.
I think I am more worried about those.
Well, the cocoons, that's where vampires come from.
Is that where you came from?
Yeah,
I don't remember. I wasn't there for that part.
me neither.
I just, yeah. You weren't there for that part?
I mean, I don't remember it, but I remember it a little bit just now. It just popped into my head. Now that I'm seeing them, like right here, there's 10 vampires right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna, okay. Oh.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
Probably super bad.
I'm starting to wonder if my sister and your mom are working together and have a secret army of vampires.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, because if your mom's a vampire, vampires can make more vampires. It's just real hard.
She made 10.
Yeah, she's way better than me.
How many have you made?
None.
Then how do you know how hard it is?
Because I don't know. I guess if it was real easy, I just would have made a bunch of them.
Probably by accident. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Right?
That tracks.
So
there are now 10, well, I guess 11 if we include you. My sister's still back there, so that's not an extra vampire. So there's at least 11 vampires in
maybe 12 if Poppy's mom's here.
Oh, yeah, fair. Maybe 12.
Yeah.
13 if my sister escaped and came back home for some stupid reason.
Mm-hmm.
You notice
Why are we assuming my mom's a vampire?
I'm pretty sure the guy said that, your boyfriend said that she was a vampire.
Ex-boyfriend.
you guys also notice a scattering of some spears
Oh, no.
on the ground near the cocoons, and Vesper, you immediately notice by the insignia on the spear head that they are guardians of Numeria. They're basically the royal guard of your mother.
Yeah, no, that worries me a lot.
I mean, on the bright side, they're gray.
What does that mean? Why is that a good thing?
Well, you're like a pinky flesh color, and I'm gray. So it's kind of hard to blend in.
That doesn't really help us, though, right?
But if there's a city full of pinky flesh people and 10 gray people, they stand out.
Fair.
Bullet has wandered over to the river of sewage and has managed to fish out a strange fish-like creature, and scuttles up to Poppy and offers it.
Good bee.
Don't.
And I'm gonna pat it awkwardly on the head.
That's a poop fish. Just so everyone remembers that we're in a sewer.
Keith, sorry, so the spears are all next to the cocoons?
Yes.
And the bodies that those spears belong to are nowhere to be found, and therefore, in theory, okay, cool. I'm just making sure.
In the
I
cocoons.
got this picture correctly. Right. Yeah. This is awful. I hope my mom knows. Maybe that's where we should head before, because then we could get, then it's not just 4 versus 10, and we can maybe even out the numbers a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, if it really is actually easy to make vampires and I'm just bad at it, if these 10 go upstairs to not the sewers and they each make 10 new vampires, then there's 20 vampires, and then those 20 make 20 more vampires, and then there's 40, and then those 40 make 40 more, and then there's 80, and then...
And I really wasn't planning on becoming the queen of the land of the vampires. That was not my plan.
Maybe that's how I get a crown.
Maybe, preferably, but no, but if we both had crowns, you didn't take over my kingdom.
Oh, butts.
I know. We need to, like, implant these people elsewhere and take over that one.
Okay.
Okay. Vesper and Wesley's plans for world domination.
Use a bunch of vampires, take over another country. Okay.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah. So let's maybe go find my mom and get some backup and then report these guys as here.
Keith, these are like, are they like nasty gooey cocoons, or are we talking like, you know, like a silkworm, like all wispy and whimsical?
Yeah, I think they're fibrous.
Okay.
And wire-like because they have to be kind of electronical in a way, right? So they're like they were made by robotic weaver types.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Is there a way I can like cut a piece off and or bite the cocoon? So like my mentality is I want to know what the gestation period of a vampire is, and how far along they are. But the only way that Wesley can do that is to bite it and gain the memories of whatever's in there.
I think you could maybe remember.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's kind of mechanical,
sure.
But likely if it's early in the gestation period, the person will still be alive, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to find out. If it's a we kill them or cut them out situation, or have someone else kill them. So can I roll for that?
Sure. Yeah.
Trying to make that happen. Okay, cool. So I'm going to use clever. I think that makes the most sense. So I'm going to clever, and I rolled a 3. What do I need to roll?
I think a 3 does it.
3 does it? Okay.
Yeah, you get the sense that it is pretty early. It has been freshly woven.
Okay. Yeah, so you just see Wesley go over and start like poking and prodding and inspecting these things. Probably like too close. And then he goes, "Oh, I know. We could just cut them out. I think they're still alive, and definitely not a zombie. I mean, definitely not a vampire. Zombie would be the opposite. That's if they stay for way too long."
Did they over incubate?
I think it's if it's like right in the middle. You know how if you're making a cake and it goes in gooey and then it comes out a cake, but if you pull it out too early, it's cake and gooey. That's when you get like a zombie, and that's not great because they have like a lot of the powers of vampires, but they don't have a brain.
Hey, Wesley, I know it's cake day, but also.
Maybe that's what a gelatinous cube is.
Guys, we've just brought this whole thing full circle.
Yes, back to episode 1. No, gelatinous cubes are people too.
We technically
we had a monster cake, so we can have a gelatinous cake person too.
Gelatinous cake
person. Oh no. Yeah, so Wesley begins like feverishly trying to like open one of these cocoons.
Vesper will be trying to help him.
I'm just gonna watch.
All right, you don't necessarily need to roll for this, but yeah, you managed to clip and pry open this cocoon, the fibrous nature of this cocoon enough that indeed you find a female Amazonian stoic face beneath, who is unconscious but not vampire yet, not gray, is pale, but definitely still alive.
Cool, just didn't get some sun lately. That's fine. That's like me.
Vesper, do you recognize that face?
I was gonna say, do I recognize?
Yeah, it is a member of the Royal Guard, and you don't know her very well, but you do recall a particular time when she was assigned to stay watch outside your room, and that you managed to sneak away.
She's one of the bad babysitters.
Yes. and so she's had a kind of a strange, awkward relationship with you since then because she feels bad that you eluded her.
She's had a bad relationship. I have not. I think she's great. Oh yeah, no, I like this one. She's great. She's really not good at paying attention. It's so easy to get by. That's probably how the vampire got her. Cool. So if this one's okay, can we maybe work on getting, like, trying the rest of them?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Then there's 10 less vampires in the world.
We should split up. Hey, we're still okay. And he goes over to the next one and starts cutting the next one out.
Yeah, and Vesper will start trying to open them up too. Until we get a Kinder Surprise egg that is not a good toy inside.
Yeah. Vampire number 10 is fully cooked.
These people aren't waking up; they're like unconscious, but they do kind of like gasp and start breathing normally and whatnot after you get them out. But they're going to need some kind of hospitalization or whatnot. But yeah, you're managed after an hour or so. You managed to get them all freed, and indeed they're all like members of the Royal Guard.
That's terrifying, and I'm slightly worried for my mom now.
And many of the wasps and some of the rift weavers have been like looking through the meshwork of the disrupted portal at you guys and like just watching eerily from the other side.
Oh, okay. So a few things. One, that's not gonna hold forever. Two, I don't know how to close it. Three, if they're all not zombies or vampires, then that means they were all captured in about the same time, or at least knocked unconscious and webbed up at the same time, which means that somebody is taking 10 royal guards and no one is noticing, and royal guards are only in the palace and not just regular guards, which means someone really strong or powerful or magical is taking the royal guards.
Yeah, that's no bueno. And this is 10 people, which means that's about 5 people more than I can carry around by myself. So...
And I don't want to be rude, because I think you said it was a sensitive subject, but I think Poppy said her mom was good at, like, lying magic.
Which part do you think is a lie?
I can hear you, Wesley.
I figured. You were right next to me.
Why are you whispering?
I didn't want to be rude. I thought if you heard it quieter, it would hurt less.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, but I think your mom might have cast a spell on the whole kingdom, and no one noticed that 10 guys were gone. Or 10 people.
I don't think she's powerful enough to cast a spell on the entire kingdom.
Well, what if she was a
That's not like
vampire wizard?
area. That sounds dangerous.
Yeah. I've never met a vampire wizard.
I'm scared. Guys, let's, Poppy, do you have any magic that could, like, theoretically send a message over great distances so we could get some help over this way before those guys get loose? Unless you guys want to help. And Vesper tries to say that very loudly to the beast. If you want to help, if you want to be friends. Friends!
Like, as they're trying to get through the net.
Bullet offers his help. Its help. Moves up and picks up.
How many bodies can we put on Bullet?
Yeah, it seems very strong, so you pile up several of them.
Yes. Cool. Okay, never mind, guys. Bullet and I got this. Let's go. Let's go to the castle. That's where just, like, fireman carries a couple of them, throws a bunch onto Bullet. Okay, I think we're good. We just have to walk.
All right, you guys emerge from the sewers of New Maria into the midst of the city, kind of in outskirts of the city. The city is a highly defensible. It's concentric circles of like walls up to a mountain peak. And it's of course highly defensible from very warlike people. So the gates to these are like at opposite ends, so that you have to like navigate this maze back and forth to actually get to the center of it. But in the midst of, that doesn't mean it's going to take you forever. It's just fluff.
Just pay me.
But you emerge in the midst of the city and find a lot of commotion. Not like a disastrous commotion, like a lot of excitement and celebration. It seems like you're in the midst of a festival or of some kind.
Crap, Leslie, what day is it?
I don't know.
I thought it was Cake Day, but this is bigger celebration than normal. And Cake Day only celebrates it was only celebrated by us two. So, this is.
Hey, random stranger, what's today's day?
Of course, very svelte, athletic woman. Are there any men in Numeria?
Just Wesley.
Okay. Pauses and looks down at you and from her towering height and says, "Why, the queen has decreed a grand tournament. The winner of the tournament will be gifted her crown."
I just had the most awful thought
Really?
ever.
What?
Which is like, so budding is how like certain plants and other things like spawn essentially, and that's how the Amazons, they just get so muscly until a new one's like and just becomes, and they just shrink back down to smaller muscly versions of themselves.
That's how reproduction works in
Numeria. They just get so beefy they're just like oh.
Oh, there we go.
Like they shed like a spider.
Perfect.
Gross.
Yes, Queen Sidus, your mother. She doesn't recognize you in this moment, but I'm saying that is your mother, Queen Sidus. Has decreed that because her warrior daughter Evensong has been lost, and she doesn't feel confident in her other heir to the throne, that she is offering up the crown to the winner of this grand tournament.
Okay, where do I enter this tournament? That's Vesper from like behind me, with bodies on her shoulders. Where do I enter this tournament?
That away.
Can I have Mom?
As you make your own doorway through the crowd toward the signups, Wesley, this random person that you were talking to is continuing to talk about how glorious the crowning ceremony is going to be at the keep at the top in the ancient temple of Duria, the goddess who founded Numeria. It's an ancient and sacred temple, and as this person is explaining this, you're seeing the distinct in your head, the distinct image of the ring of the strange trees, and your thought of the point at the center of it being activated and the whole city being sucked into it. As she's pointing to the keep at the top of the hill, and it all sinks in that whoever wins this tournament not only gets the crown, but if it's a Hyperwoods person, could also activate this terrible straw metaphor that you saw earlier and destroy the city in the process of sucking it into the Hyperwoods.
That sounds terrifying, Keith.
And that's where we will leave off.
That's ominous and bad. Cliffhanger, mid-season finale cliffhanger style. Like, who knows? We'll be back in 6 weeks. Find out then. Whiz Kids Productions. No, we'll be back next week, guys. We'll find out immediately what happened.
7 days.
So that was episode 5, The Shattered Goddess, of which we are. And we have a giant space robot to find, and an entire city to save, and also space bees and vampires. It's a mess in here, guys. This is a show. It's PG, so I can't say the rest of this. But it's a show, for sure.
It's a show.
It's a show.
Oh, no.
Or is that?
Well, this has been real. So let's go around, do our introductions, get the heck out of here. So let's start with the soon-to-be queen herself. Natalie, who are you, where can we find you, and what are you up to?
I really hope. Yeah, I just can't wait to be queen has been also in my head for the record for most of this episode.
Wesley's going to enter the tournament too, just to see what happens.
Good. Please, this will be fun. Hi, I'm Natalie, also known as Chaotic Rogue, which is where you can find me on the Twitters. That is the best place to find me, is just at Chaotic Rogue, where you can find about the other shows that I do, the other cool things that I do. I have a stream this Saturday night on Shero Princesses' channel, which is Gore of Ravnica. And otherwise, I do really cool stuff with the Mage College, creating TTRPG content. Feel like there's something else I'm supposed to plug, and somebody will yell at me later for that one. I'm normally in the Legacy of Tilvain game on Sundays too on Goldheart, but I have a wedding to go to because, I mean that in the nicest way possible. I hope she's not watching this. That's me for right now.
Wow. Let's jump over to Kai. Who are you? Where can we find you, and what are you up to?
I'm Kai, Stonefly _Kai on Twitter. You can see everything I'm doing on Twitter. That's the best place to figure out what I'm doing, what streams I'm on, what art I'm doing. Yep.
Nailed it. that was the longest comma in the world. Also, definitely go check out Kai on Sundays. The Kobold Press game.
Press.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Several of my favorite people over there. V, aka the Crafting Muse on YouTube, is running the game. It's super awesome. And Gnome, who is one of the best boys, is over there playing an adorable kobold with an adorable voice. So definitely go check that game out on Sundays. That being said, let's jump over to Keith. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
Yeah, Keith, you can find me at mcomponents on Twitter, or at Material Components on all other things. I run a after-school program here in Nashville, teaching kids tabletop role-playing games and heroic morality, non-violent conflict resolution, and all that good stuff, using a Powered by the Apocalypse system that we're have made and have play tested with kids aged 6 to 12 for hundreds of hours. And we're about to start a new season with 4 locations, three or four locations per week, multiple tables, multiple GMs.
That's awesome. Like locations as in like different physical places in the state? Okay, cool.
Yeah, different schools. Yeah.
That's rad. That's super rad.
So if you're intrigued by that, check it out at theheroesguild.com.
Yeah, hell yeah. Speaking of other charitable things that we do with Tabletop Gaming, guys, this Saturday is our 12-hour charity stream for Extra Life. This is the 8th, 7th? I think it's the 7th. 7th one this year for this channel. We are doing 12 hours of tabletop games from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We have some Urban Shadows. We have some, I believe, some D&D. We have some Capers. We have some Cyber System, all kinds of fun stuff. So definitely, oh no, the other one is John Carter of Mars. Yeah. So definitely come check that out. It's going to be a good time, and it's for a good cause. I think currently this channel has raised over $2,500 for the year. So we're trying to push towards our goal of 10 grand. So come help us. If you can't be there, tweet it out. If you can't be there, you can still donate. I'll post links everywhere on all of our social medias. That being said, we're going to go raid our friend over at Off the Table. They are playing Storms and Stars, Alas for the Awful Sea, and they are also wonderful, lovely people. So go check them out and give them all of your hot, sticky raid love. And from all this to you guys, bye-bye.